Right, these are the Fox 38 Performance Elite 2021 forks. I've had them for a good lot of years, absolutely unreal. You need to look after them, so I'm going to strip them down and rebuild them up and stuff, so I'm going to play music in the background. But before I do any of this here, before I strip this down, the most important, if you're doing any suspension work or anything like that there that has air chambers, always wear your safety glasses because there's a lot of pressure inside these things. For instance, if you keep the air inside this here and you go and take off your lower legs, if the circlip is broken inside the air chamber, it's going to shoot up enough force it'll go right through you. You can end up with a serious injury. Working on suspension is highly dangerous. You need to know what you're doing with it. Always release the air first. If you're doing rear shocks too, always release the air from it. And rear shocks you also need to be extra careful too, because there's nitrogen in the piggybacks from the factory, so you need to know what you're doing with it. So I'm going to strip these down, and before you do any of this here, before you take air out and anything, it's always good to wipe these down with isopropyl alcohol, clean all the dirt, anything, so when you take these off, no dirt can fall down into the lowers and it's just going to make more of a mess. You know, it's going to take longer to do it. You need to have a lot of specialist tools to do this. You need a good workbench too, you know. You can get these on Amazon. They're about £300 for the table, and I would highly recommend getting one with rollers on it. And then all your drawers here, you know, for all your high-end, you know, torque wrenches and stuff like that there. But I'm going to get stuck in this here and get it started, strip it down, you know. Also wear safety gloves too if you can, because the oils inside these are really toxic for your skin most of the time. So try and wear safety gloves all the time, because suspension oils are really toxic stuff, and you don't want to breathe any of it in too. So don't ingest any of it or anything like that there. I'm sure you just want to wipe that anyway, but I'm just saying, do not breathe this stuff, and it's really bad stuff, you know. just letting you know, see when you're taking this off, there's like wee ball bearings. Just what you want to do if you've got a magnet, or you can do this here, and the pellet will usually catch. Because if you don't do this here, if you just lift it all off, sometimes it can fly out. Because there's two wee small springs and there's two wee ball bearings, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And always do this nice and slow. Right, and then let's see what bits for. And I mean, they're really small. I don't know if you can see that. Will you see yourself a wee magnet? And as you can see here, that's there, a wee small spring and a small pellet. And just leave it on the thing like that there on your magnet. And then we've also another one underneath here. So same thing again, just lift this off nice and gently. Right there, because sometimes these can fly out. So there you go, there's two springs and two wee pellets you should have. And then we'll just set them over the side for a minute.
Mud, blood, and temptation. Burned by my urges. Into the kill I came. The skyline is smoke and flame. Mud, blood, and temptation. Burned by my urges. Into the kill I came.
Right, gonna show you something. If you had all that air still in that, just say for instance, there's a wee circlip here, and it goes around like a wee wave washer. If this here was out, and you still had all the air in this, just say it broke for whatever reason, this here would just shoot out with enough force to go free. Like, so that's why you always release air first, all the time. Any fork that you're doing that has air, always release it first, because if you don't, you're going to end up with serious injury. So if you follow Fox or anything like that there, and you run Fox suspension, if you've got the Grip 2 damper, probably one of the best dampers that was ever designed by Fox in that period. This is the 2021 model one, these forks, and this here's the Grip 2 damper. You've got VVC built into both chambers, so you've got VVC running inside the rebound and also on your compression circuit. VVC is basically variable valve control, which allows you to do externally tunes on your damper. Whereas on most other forks out there, you'd have to take the whole fork down and change the shims, whereas whenever you turn these here wee dials, it changes the wee leaf springs inside the damper unit itself. It's probably one of the best that's ever invented, although Fox have designed this new Grip X2 damper now, which is running on, I think, is it 26 shims? Whereas a few shims in this here, but this, the newer model that they have made, I think there's like 26 shims or something to play about with, but this here was probably one of the best that for that time period. But you know, every year Fox always come up with new ideas and stuff, you know, and new stuff, but I think the Grip 2 damper is where it's at. Like, I think it's one of the best out there. No harshness or anything, as long as you set them up right and you know how to tune them, they're dead on. And then what I also like about this, it's a self-bleeding damper, so whenever you cycle this here shaft, oil will come out here. Just let me put my glasses on, because I don't want any oil on me at all. So hopefully you can pick this up on the camera. So there's a wee bleed port here, so every time you cycle your fork up and down, the oil will purge out here, and then it'll suck back and lubricates all your O-rings and seals and your bushings and all your lower legs too. Really good system. So I'm trying to do this here. I don't want to do it too quick, so push it down just a wee bit. Let's see if we can get that. Let's see. And we're just going to do this nice and slow, and you're going to start seeing oil coming out now. See it? So it's a self-bleeding damper, you know. Really good damper. So when every time you're cycling this back up, oil's run out and then it goes back in whenever it's all inside the fork and all. It's a really good system. And this here oil is pristine. It's really in good shape. I'm just stripping this down just to give it a wee service and all. But it's all in good condition, and all the O-rings and all, they're all in excellent condition. Just want to get this here over bike ready, and then this is your NA2 air spring, another really good system designed by Fox. So this here is your air spring inside here, and basically this is like a sleeve for the air piston to go up and down. Whereas other manufacturers out there, they'll usually just have the piston going up inside your stanchion. So on the Fox 38, inside your stanchion, you don't really need to worry about wee small scratches or anything, because this here piston's inside its own air sleeve and stuff like that there. But in other forks, you need to be really careful of scratches inside your stanchions. Still don't want to scratch them anyway, but I'm just saying, like, when you've got these here self-bleeding damper here, and then you've got that, you don't really need to worry about it too much, you know. But other forks like RockShox and stuff, if they've just got the piston going up inside there, you do not want any scratches inside the stanchion, or it could be expensive, because new stanchions are very expensive, like, so they are, you know. And especially when you've got high-end dampers like the Grip 2. I mean, when this here first came out, this damper alone, I think it was over £500 just for the damper. For the 2021 forks, you were talking over £1,300 for these here. They're probably up in price now, you know, with the newer dampers and stuff, you know. Probably looking at close to 1,400. But they're definitely worth it with all the adjustments and all. But you're going to see when I strip this down, all the wee parts and all, there's a lot of stuff that goes into them. Also, say if you're gonna do these here shaft clamps or anything like that, if you're buying these Fox shaft clamps and you're looking to do this here yourself, whenever you're clamping the surface, make sure it's way below here, because you've got an IFP inside here, which is plastic. Inside this damper itself, there's an IFP chamber, and it's an internal floating piston. And if you like put your shaft clamps here and you over crouch, you're going to crouch that with IFP unit. So I always do it roughly in about the middle here, roughly, and then you've got a PVC, you've got your throttle valve control unit here. If you clamp too hard, you can also damage. So I like kind of clamping them roughly about here or a quarter way down, you know what I mean? If you clamp it about here, you're going to damage the IFP, so just make us aware of that. Here's your compression assembly, so your low speed compression and your high speed compression, and then there's the VVC into the compression circuit. That's your VVC there, and then your low speed compression, it's the wee fin where it goes the whole way down. VVC in the rebound, this is your VVC here, and then for this controls your high speed rebound, and this here wee hat will move. I'm going to show you now. So hopefully you can see on the camera, we're in the fully open, but if I turn it clockwise, like this way, it's gonna, like, if you turn it pretty much this way, it's gonna close it off. If you turn it left, it's gonna open the ports. So we're gonna close it off here because we're in the fully open position. That's another thing. Whenever you're doing suspension servicing, always make sure your dials are in the fully open, or you're gonna have problems. So there you go, there's the wee hat there, it spins, and you'll get 8 clicks, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it'll stop. There's a wee thing there to stop. Do not try and force that anymore because you could break this unit. And that's you in the fully closed position. And it's basically controlling this wee leaf spring here, the pressure on it. So whenever you go higher up the ramp, it's going to put more force on your fork, so it's going to be harder to push the rebound down. That's what it'll do. It'll slow your rebound down, and it's going to be harder to push the fork down. Same as the compression too, it works like near enough the same way. And then when you back it all the way out, then that's going to be softer, it's going to be easier, you know, and the rebound's going to react way faster and stuff like that. Really good system. The VVC, when it came out with Fox done a patent design on, one of the best designs to ever hit the market, to be honest, from Fox. Now whenever you take all this apart, you need to have feeler gauges because this has to be at the right depth. If you do not have feeler gauges, I would not strip this down any further, because you're going to have issues. So if you put these feeler gauges in here, as you can feel there, make it there. That's a snug wee fit, you know, that's what you kind of want. But if you don't have them, I would not tackle this job. Just let you know you need heat to break this here apart because it's red Loctite. If you don't have a heat gun or blowtorch, do not do this here without heat because you will flare the shaft and you'll wreck it.
How's life? Are you okay? I wonder if you ever think of me. It's been 9 years since that kiss. I can't help but reminisce. Hey Michelle, do you remember? You were my first and worst love. And so it only could go wrong. But that's just the way you lie. And sure, I just wanted to let you know.
See this part I'm going to do now? Now I've already got it up here. You need a really small pick in here to prise this here wee circlip out, and see if you don't have like a magnetic hang and you go and try and lift the rest of it out, it's going to bounce off like a bouncing Benny and you're never going to find it, and it's a real important part for your suspension. So what I like to do, I get the top part just started, and then what I do is get the picks underneath. Also what you can do, you can put a cloth over if you've no magnet, but what I like to do is this, get a magnet here, alright, and we're going to just prise the rest of it nice and gently. Hopefully you can see in the camera what I'm doing. But these are not to be messed with, these are a nightmare. So they are. You want a small enough pick that you can get underneath. As you can see there. And then put your wee magnet here. And that's it there. That is it. Put this wee light on here so you can see it on the GoPro. That's it there, and if you don't have magnetic or a cloth for it and you go and press the rest up, it's going to bounce about the room, and then you're going to have to go to Fox and get a new one. Because I don't know if they sell them separately, which they should. This here holds in your, you know, your low speed compression needle. So we're gonna, and a wee tip to get that out is you want to screw the low speed compression dial, you see, fully clockwise. So close it off and it'll lower it down. You can more room to get the pick in, and then you want to fully open this. Just going to snap, so there we go. It'll get to a certain distance. You screw out one of your fingers a bit. You'll be able to go so far, and the rest should come out. And there you go. There's that wee part there. Now this needle should be coming out too. And what I'm going to do with that.
all around. feel the air begin to shake. I feel the air before I break. I see the lights. They start to blur. I see the light, but not for sure. I see the light. I see the light. But still I